Meeting of the Paris City Council will now come to order. Today is Monday, July 28th, and this is the 5:30 regularly scheduled meeting of the Paris City Council. Call the meeting to order. We'll ask Reverend Charlotte Coyle to come forward and lead us in the invocation. If you'll all please rise, and then Mr. Jenkins will do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray together. God of the ages, in every age, you call your people to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly. And so we ask in this time and this place in our age, you would call us to be that people. Bless these your servants with eyes to hear, eyes to see, and ears to hear, and hearts moved with compassion for our neighbors. May we make decisions tonight based not on what is right and good for us, but what is good for all your people here in this community. Thank you for their service. Thank you for being here with us tonight. And we pray now as we live. In your name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time we'll move to item number 4, the Citizens Forum. Persons desiring to address the council must limit their presentation to no more than 2 minutes. Unless an item is posted on the agenda, the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the council from responding to any comments other than to refer the matter to a future agenda, to an existing policy, or to a staff person with specific factual information. Claims against the city, the council members, or employees, as well as individual personnel appeals, are not appropriate for the Citizens Forum.
Hi there, I'm Sherry Bedford, City of Paris Main Street, and I want to talk to the City Council about a project that we have at the Gibraltar Hotel on September the 6th, and we would appreciate your support. Our event is called 6 Squared, and what I have in my hand is a 6-inch squared canvas, and what we're doing with these little canvases is we're asking the public and public leaders to create art on this canvas. The medium can be anything you desire, from painting to whatever, photographs, and we're going to sell these canvases at the Gibraltar Hotel on September the 6th. We appreciate HWH working with us to get the Gibraltar Hotel ready to go for our event, and I would like to ask for the support of the council by seeing if you would be willing to take one of our canvases and create some art. It's very important that public leaders help us with this. And the neat thing about these little canvases is we ask you to create art on the front and then sign the back, so nobody will know who actually created the art until they make a purchase. So I was hoping that I could rely on each one of you council members to do at least one canvas to help support our event. And I know you can't respond, but I will have them in my office, or I have them right here at the front. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lisa Spann, and I just want to personally and publicly thank the City Council. They are participating in the upcoming Can Follies. The Can Follies are going to be on August 8th. That's Friday at PJC, and it's a fundraiser for the Meals on Wheels program, which we really need the support due to current loss. The Can Follies have the skits of a lot of people of our community, but I want to thank you so much for participating in it, and I encourage everybody to seek the tickets and come see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is James Bradley from 1230 Shiloh, Paris, Texas. I'd like to thank Councilman Jenkins, Councilman Lancaster, Councilman Pickle, and Councilman Highsmith for having somebody come out to keep Paris beautiful. The others I did not call, you didn't have nobody, you didn't get in touch with me or nothing. You know my phone number, some of you, look at Paris, the whole city needs to be looked after. The whole city, not just some parts. We start looking after it. I know the tour of Paris was going on, but and even the city manager had somebody come out, and so we're doing some more there also. I like to say that have another meeting pretty soon, and I will be in touch with you. I hope you can come out and try to keep that beautiful on all you can do. Also, I'd like to say in passing and caring for my Councilman Lancaster, I hope you give her what she wants with PEDC. I'm tired of it. I want to know where my money is. Y'all tell me where my money went. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Gary Savage. I live here in Paris, Texas, and I was appointed to the Housing Authority Board. And after about 3 weeks, I hadn't heard anything, and I called Janice Ellis, and she informed me that there was an error in the voting or something, that a tenant was supposed to be on the board. And I know that's true, and that's fine. And then after she said they were going to work it out, she was going to work it out with the director to see what we needed to do. So after about 2 weeks, she called me Friday and said that the mayor was supposed to make the selection, not the whole board. And that's fine if that's fact. But my point is, I mean, you know, to me, I was here when we did the selections and it was so split down the middle. Things looked a little suspicious to me. And everything could be just as innocent. I was just saying it looked suspicious. And to me, I think that to be fair in this process, that if the mayor is supposed to make this selection, and I don't know how that was missed from, you know, we have city attorneys, city managers, ex-mayors and everything. I don't see how that was missed. But if that is the case, then that's fine. But I think the fair process would be to select from the 2 nominees that were nominated that day. And the board seemed to be fine, the council seemed to be fine with that day. So I think the nominees should come from those 2 selections. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Glatfelder, 1345 Southeast 6th Street, Paris. Good afternoon. I'm Vice Chairman of the Historic Review Board here in Paris. July 9th, we had a meeting, and around 3 o'clock, I was driving home. I was on 6th Street, and I looked at a house that had been for rent again. Every month it comes up for rent. You know, it's a regular thing. I'm sure some prominent citizen owns it, and they rent them out on a monthly basis to new people. I slowed down, looked at it, and I went in my driveway, and there was a policeman behind me. He said to me that he noticed me slowing down, and he wanted to find out if I was a thug. He came on my property and asked me this. I approached the officer. He backed away. I asked him to call his sergeant. Instead, 2 other policemen came by. The one policeman had his sleeve rolled up like this. Real tough-looking guy with sunglasses, but no sergeant. They wouldn't acknowledge my presence on my property. Well, while I was waiting for these gentlemen, I went into my house. And I got some paperwork. I told these gentlemen that this paperwork represents a false arrest that the police had made to me about 1.5 years ago, and that they were invited to leave my property. And they were told the problems on 6th Street were between the railroad tracks and the post office. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This represents $3,500 in legal costs.
Mr. Gladfelder.
And a day in jail.
Sir.
No,
I'm
you
sorry,
hold on. And I never
sir.
want to see the police on my property
Mr.
again unless
Gladfelder, your
they're
2 minutes are
invited.
up. I understand, but your 2 minutes are up. Thank you.
Never again without a
Please,
warrant.
thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if we could we need to have decorum. This is 2 minutes, and we're here to discuss things for the city, not accusations or any type of those things. So if anyone else would like to speak, now's your time.
Remember,
Seeing none, the citizen, Bob, if you don't mind asking Mr. Gladfelter to leave. With that, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Do any of the council members have any items to be removed?
You need to keep your voice straight there, I believe.
Matt,
I think we need to remove, I'd like to remove item number 12 from the consent agenda. This is the, could I get a motion on that?
So moved.
Could I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item number 12 is to approve a memorandum of understanding between the City of Paris and First United Methodist Church. As I understand it from Mr. Godwin, the pastor is unable to be here, Pastor Spencer, I'm
that's
sorry.
correct. He asked that it be postponed or
Yes.
tabled.
So if we could, their attorney has not had a chance to look over this document in its due time, so if we could get, can we postpone that, or do we need a motion to table?
We can postpone it, can't we? Can't-
Okay.
Mhm.
Can-
Either way.
Yes,
You can do
yes.
it either way.
Okay, so if you don't,
I'll make a motion, we table it until the next
All right.
city council meeting.
thank you. Got a motion, do we have a second?
I'll say.
Second by Mr. Plata. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Any other items on the consent agenda? Can I have a motion to approve?
Listen, how about that, since the city manager's not here, how about that budget, talking about the budget? Do we need to go ahead and bring anything in budget or wait till he's here?
To go actually into conversation about the budget itself for next year. I believe he has, Dennis, help me out, he's got,
He did not give me directions that someone was going to fill in, so we could just see where we are when we, how long we're into the meeting.
all right. So let's deal with those. I know John's working on that. If we could have a motion on the consent agenda.
Okay, that's not on the consent.
Yeah. If I could have a motion on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Got a second by Mr. Jenkins. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we move to item number 13. Janice?
City attorney to provide counsel with duties and responsibilities in regard to council members, discussion and/or action.
Okay, this item was put on by Ms. Lancaster, and Sue, is it satisfactory with you if Kent takes on the roles and responsibilities as determined by his job description?
I would like to ask some questions previously. He could better answer.
Well, before we go to specific questions, is it okay if he reads his job description to determine, so we'll all know? And then we'll go from there? Is it that
As long as
satisfactory
I'm
with you?
allowed to speak.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Kent?
Okay. I wasn't really sure what Councilmember Lancaster wanted on this item, so I went ahead and brought the official city job description for city attorney as maintained in the Human Resources Department, and I'll brief that to the city council. Brief job description provides legal counsel in all areas of municipal law to the Paris City Council and city staff, prepares necessary contracts, ordinances, resolutions, and other documents to coordinate the city legal matters, including defense against lawsuits and claims, makes budget requests, and supervises the legal department. Essential job functions: prepares, reviews, and interprets various legal documents, including contracts, resolutions, ordinances, deeds, title reports, and permits. Assists in the preparation of city council and other city boards, commissions agendas, researches, reviews, assimilates various legal issues, prepares legal opinions and other correspondence. Meets with city council members individually and as a group, city staff members, city board members when appropriate, in order to provide legal counsel and advice. Attend city council meetings and other city-related commission and board meetings to provide legal counsel and a city perspective. Provide supervision and direction to legal staff. Those are the essential job functions. Okay. Sue, you had some questions?
Yes, I have had occasion to have some real. Let me get it a little closer. Is that better? Good. I've had occasion to inquire of the city attorney several items relating to the Diefenbach investigation, never came to a satisfactory
Now, Sue,
answer to me.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's not the agenda item. The agenda item is to discuss the roles and
Well, I'm
responsibilities.
going to be discussing where he went wrong on
This
that.
is, it's not about.
Oh,
Kent,
in
it's
other
about
words,
this-
I'm going to be gagged.
No, not at all.
No, that's exactly what you're doing.
No, ma'am, this is, I'm just reading the agenda.
The agenda is my item, and it was put on there specifically to tell you, City Attorney, that you did not represent me as I felt you should, and that's why I asked for a definition of your responsibilities. I had to go to the Texas Municipal League.
Sue.
No, I'm not going to be shut
That's-
up.
That's not
I-
the agenda
I'm not
item. You're
going to
off
be
the
shut
agenda.
up. Do I need to be shut up?
All right.
No. This is definitely pertaining to the fact that I was told I could not depend on your help as a city attorney.
Who told you that, ma'am?
You did.
I told you that you could not depend
No.
on my help.
Everything had to be the whole council, not an individual support. I never understood your duties to be that.
Right, and I've written a legal memorandum to the entire city council on that point, and you're going to get a chance to bring that up again in item 20 tonight.
That's true, but I can tell you I was sorely disappointed in you.
I know, and I'm sorry. We had a difference of opinion on that, and we'll discuss it when, later if you'd like.
Well, I'm not going to be shut up about this. If I have to put it in the paper, I will. Because I think I was not represented, I think the people were not represented, and I think that's contrary to what you should be doing for the council and for the citizens of Paris.
Well, since you've already brought it up, why don't you go ahead and finish? I mean, I'd rather you bring it up now and go ahead and finish your point rather than drag it out for another month.
Well, I'm not going to drag it out for another month. It won't last that long. I'm simply making my point that as a city council member, I was denied access to the Diffenbach reports, as any council person is. This is from the league, came out of this particular folder, that says, as a council member, I cannot be denied that information. Not only was I denied, it was drug on from July the 9th until the 25th.
Ms. Lancaster, what exactly were you denied?
I was denied the preliminary reports.
Are you talking about the draft report that
The preliminary reports,
that
that's it.
Deffenbaugh issued in the
Yes.
middle of June
Right.
in response to a Public Information Act request filed by
Absolutely.
West Tidwell? And as I told you on Friday, that is not a city document. That is a draft report from a third-party investigator hired by the Paris Economic Development Corporation. That is not part of the city records.
Okay, so
I'm not liberty to release that to you or to anyone
PEDC then
without
is
direction
not
from the
part
entire city
of
council.
this city? Is that what you're saying? They are not under the umbrella of the city? That's not true?
They're a separate nonprofit corporation, ma'am, altogether. And their contract was with
If they have a
Deffenbaugh
separate,
and
if they are
Associates.
separate, then why are they reporting to us? Why aren't they just doing their own thing totally? Well, they probably are.
Well, they have to get their budget approved, and they have to get any of their expenditures approved, over $400,000. I agree with you, and they submit an annual plan of work. But a preliminary draft report, which I have no idea if it looks anything at all like what the final report's going to look like that you're getting tonight, is not mine to release. It's stamped confidential all over, on every page by Deffenbaugh, on every report. And if the council, under item 20 tonight, wants to direct the city attorney or the city manager or the EDC to contact Deffenbaugh and get written authorization to release that document, then I am perfectly fine with that. But I can't take direction from just one council member when I've had other direction from the rest of the
I
council.
have had direction from Austin. It says a current member of the governing body who requests information from the city in his or her official capacity has full access to the requested information. The Public Information Act is not implicated when a request is made in a mayor or councilman's official, is not implicated when a request is made in a mayor or councilman's official capacity, as the release of the document is not viewed as a release to the general public. I'm entitled to anything that is held in this city office. And to not deny me that is to deny and to gag the citizens of my district for sure, because I can't really represent them if I don't know what's going on. Now, I don't know what that report says. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. But I think it's clear that the attorney did not represent me in this matter, and I'm sorely disappointed in it.
Anyone else have any questions about
Yes, I
the
do.
roles and responsibilities?
Yes.
Sure.
The item reads, I'm going to read the item first of all. City Attorney to provide counsel with duties and responsibilities in regards to council members, discussion and action. It clearly says that the duties of the City Attorney will be discussed. And that is why what I'm going to address is his duties to the council, and I'm going to bring some of the points. First of all, I'm very dissatisfied with his performance, including...
Mayor, I'm going to object to this and request that this be addressed in executive session pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act. As it's posted on this city council agenda, my annual performance evaluation or any evaluation is not posted for open session discussion, and that would be a violation of the Texas Open Meetings Act.
And I will answer that by telling you, a city official can request an open session, but a city official cannot request a closed session. So if you want to accept it, you're going to go against the Texas Open Meetings Act. Because as a city employee, you are not allowed to ask for a closed session. You can ask for an open session, but closed session is a council's decision. It is not your decision.
That's how it's posted. It's posted as a closed session.
And I'm going to discuss it in item 22, so don't be worried about the fact that I'll not discuss it. I'll most certainly discuss it. But I'm going to address the fact that you did, since this discussion is about your duties, you did not comply with the duties. And you're not even letting me finish to get to the points that I'm making. So you need to listen, because if you want to listen to it in item 20, I'll be glad to repeat the whole thing in item 20.
Now I'm talking about the executive session item, sir.
Sir, item 20 or
21.
executive session, once we come out, has a discussion. So I'll be glad to discuss it over again outside. So your choice. Quite honestly, it's not your choice.
It's inappropriate, sir.
No, sir.
It's also unprofessional and unethical.
Don't try to teach me ethics and unprofessionalism, okay? Because we are going to get to it momentarily. All right? Can I continue on or not? Because you're the person running the meeting. I'll shut down, but I will speak, I can tell you. You give me the chance to speak now or later, your choice.
Well, my intention is not to gag or to shut anyone
Well,
down.
that's not been the
regardless
case lately, but that's all right. I'll not
I'm
argue
sorry,
with you
gonna
right
let
now.
me finish?
Yeah, sure, finish.
Okay, well, you were interrupting me, so I was unsure.
Okay, go ahead.
According to this agenda item, it is regarding the duties and responsibilities of the city attorney, not of Kent McKillier. That is my point. Not that you're dissatisfied with him or with the process. That is certainly your right and your responsibility. But we do have an obligation here to discuss personnel, and that is most often and quite honestly probably should be done in executive session.
That's your interpretation, but that's fine. If you want to do that, I'll be glad to go in executive session and come out and discuss. But I have things to say.
And you're certainly entitled to those
That's
things.
fine. I'll wait.
Do you have questions about the responsibilities of a city attorney for Paris?
Yeah, you're still wrong, but I'll wait. Since you're running the meeting,
Well,
I'll
if you
go
don't
along
mind,
with
I'd
what you
appreciate
want.
you not trying to insult me and then move on. So,
Well, you're asking for it.
okay.
I'd like to make a comment. I think we up here deserve some respect from the people in the audience. While Mayor Hashmi's making
I'm not the
fun
mayor.
of our current mayor,
I'm not the
I
mayor.
think it's being very disrespectful.
I'm not the mayor.
That's true. Okay, do we have any more questions about this, or can we move on to item 14? Item 14, Janice?
Receive and possibly take action on the report from Paris Economic Development Corporation on the forensic investigation.
Okay. Steve Grubbs, the PEDC, is here and I believe has some information for us.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. It's good to be with you tonight. I can feel the energy in the room. In all seriousness, I do want to make some comments, and then I do want to present the City Council with the report that you requested. First, let me publicly thank Mr. Deffenbaugh. He was asked to meet a deadline of July the 28th on submitting the report, and he has done so. He delivered 2 copies of the report to the PEDC office. Can you hear me okay? Am I close enough? Last Friday. And that said, 1 copy was marked PEDC, the 2nd copy intended for the City Council. As elected officials, we have the responsibility to adhere to state laws while also acting judiciously to protect sensitive information. In light of that, legal counsel has advised the PEDC that we all make sure that we protect the confidential information contained within, and that we be sensitive to the fact that there may be information contained within these documents that is protected under state law. Not to mention information that would be of a private nature that could be used for things like crime theft or ID theft, things like that. So things like social security numbers are contained within. Therefore, I ask as I turn this information over to the City Council that you too proceed and seek the opinion of legal counsel with respect to how you release it. Additionally, the PEDC would request that you would consider a joint meeting with the PEDC board and Mr. Deffenbaugh to go over and review this information. We're going to have a lot of questions. I've had less than 72 hours myself to review a box full of information. So there's a lot of information contained within. And we're going to have a lot of questions to ask Mr. Deffenbaugh. So I would consider that you would consider that request and join the PEDC in asking Mr. Deffenbaugh to come to Paris so that we may ask him those questions. The PEDC staff and board were so very anxious to close this investigation, to move on, to get back to the business of what we're charged to do, and that's to represent our city in growing and fostering the development of industry in our community. Thank you very much, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
At this time, we'll open it up, and if Mr. Grubbs has any comment to make, certainly feel free if anyone has questions.
I have questions.
Sure.
First of all, Mr. Grubbs, I want to say a few things. I was a little bit disturbed when I read a comment by you in which it said that he wanted to correct the report and redact the report before releasing it. The Paris News made an open records request for this report, and you stated, and I think it was reported that Mr. Grubbs stated that he has to evaluate the report and correct it before he releases it. I'm a little bit disappointed to hear that the chairman of a board wants to change or correct the report without him doing any sort of investigation. He wants to correct a report that he didn't even know what the contents of were. If the investigation concluded and there was nothing wrong done, then why is there a need to redact? Number two, the Attorney General's office has said that a governmental body must get permission from the Attorney General's office if there was any redact to be done. And the only redacts that are allowed and exceptions are made in the form of confidentiality are individuals' social security numbers, home addresses, phone numbers, and things of that nature, including personal medical records. Barring that, there is nothing else. So if you could please clarify, what did you mean by correct? I'm not saying that maybe you had some other meaning that we don't understand.
Yeah. And I think that, Dr. Hashmi, you and I are certainly on the same page and understand laws the same way. I'm not sure how it was quoted in the paper as far as what I meant, but certainly what I meant was we were going to follow the processes with open records requests. We did receive a request from the Paris Sun on Friday for the information, And my advisement was that we needed to basically review this information, review it with legal counsel, and make sure we follow the due process before we release it. Now, that usually does mean an Attorney General opinion, yes.
Attorney General's opinion for what?
For what needs to be redacted within the information.
Okay. Those are the things that I've said that is in the Attorney General's booklet. You can go and review it. And it was not just that it was quoted in the Paris Economic Development Council meeting. I think you said that in the last PEDC meeting too. So I think choice of words is important. If you didn't want to correct...
You think I said it?
I know you said it.
Okay. It was in the minutes?
You can ask for the recording.
I'm sorry.
Okay? And so, and I'm not saying you meant it with any bad intentions, or I should say I don't know what you meant.
Okay.
But I think it would be nice to have correct words written rather than, or said, rather than something like that. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else from the council have questions? Sue?
I was quite surprised to find that you were presenting. I really understood at the beginning that Mr. Diffenbach would come, and I really think we need his clarity. There's just a lot of feeling that this is being withheld from the public, and I certainly want to make sure that you follow the motion that I made, and one, that it be supplied to the PEDC, to the council, and to the public. And that was voted on by the entire council, that we do that.
Oh, yes, ma'am. And I do agree that this information certainly needs to be in the hands of the public. It's their information. I just want to make sure we do it the correct way.
Well, they paid for this. They paid for everything.
They absolutely did.
And so far, I can't see they've gotten a heck of a lot for their money.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions of Mr. Grubbs?
So really what you're really saying is when you need a chance to go through there and make sure there's not any social security numbers or anything that people could use if it gets out, correct?
That was the advice I was given, was we have to make sure that all the sensitive information is protected, and that if there is anything that it is contrary to state law that we cannot release, it needs to be reviewed for that as well. I don't know what that would be, but that was the opinion or the advice I was given by legal counsel.
Sir, what legal counsel?
We have contacted an attorney out of Richardson, Texas, and his name, he's done work for the PEDC before, but his name is Mr. Jeff Moore.
And so our attorneys here in town are not knowledgeable enough?
I don't think I'm qualified to give you an opinion on that. I'm sorry.
I would hope they are.
I have another question too, when you get done.
Okay. So, Steve, what I was going to say is to go back to what you said just a moment ago, your suggestion, because I doubt your board has had time to digest this, if you certainly haven't, and the council at this point hasn't seen anything, that the suggestion would be a working session or a joint meeting between the two groups with Mr. Diffenbach present, correct?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay. I mean, that seems plausible to me, if that's, unless somebody else feels quite differently. But I mean, I think that's what everybody, Sue, and you just brought that up. And
I definitely would like to see that done, but very quickly.
Okay.
Very quickly. Not a month.
Right.
I have another question.
Dr. Osme, sure.
Mr. Grubbs, how was this attorney selected? Did you have it as an agenda item on your agenda to select the attorney?
On the PEDC agenda?
Yes.
We did talk about it during our last meeting.
Was it an agenda item on the PEDC?
It was, yes.
Okay, and your board voted on for this attorney?
No, he didn't. No, they did not. They voted on the use of an external attorney, but asked me to do the research upon it.
So they gave you the power to hire an attorney?
Yes, in essence, they did.
And that's in the minutes of the meeting?
Shannon, correct me if I'm wrong there, but I believe that was the direction I was given.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Gross-Nicola, I think, has a question.
Yes, sir.
In the box, is this all printed pages, or are there electronic storage media, et cetera?
You're not wanting to look at all the
CD-ROMs?
paper. Yeah, there is hard copy, bound versions of the report, as well as CDs that contain each individual booklet within, or each individual section within the report.
So that those CDs can't easily be redacted, can they?
I'm not really certain about that. I think that that would take some work, and I'm not real sure what that encompasses.
Okay, thank you.
I want a clarification. What are we talking about redacting the CDs for?
Well, I think
mean,
what
you
he's...
can, from the CD, you can print it out. And if you want to cross somebody's social security number, you can. Why do you need to correct the CD?
And Dr. Grosnick...
Only if someone gives it to a person that might make illegal use of it, just like we were talking about why there's any redaction done at all.
Yeah, but if you give the CD, or you can print it out, the city can print it out for us from the CD. You don't have to have the CD.
No.
I would prefer to have a printed copy of it.
Me too.
I have another question. If Diffenbach has already seen all of these papers, and we on the council certainly would adhere to confidentiality, and I would expect PEDC would too, why would you need to redact before that meeting happened?
I think we're talking two different things. The redaction is what you do whenever you release something for public information.
Well, I'm saying you're adding a step between.
You're going to have full access to all of these documents today going forward.
And I don't mean to interject here too much, but I don't think the intention is anything malicious other than if there were just some typos or, some of those things that, I don't think that's your intention. You're not doing anything other than we need to get on the same page so we have accurate information that's released to the public, right?
When I use the word redaction, what I'm talking about is we or someone goes through the documents, and if there are credit card account numbers that they are made so that they can't be viewed, if there are social security numbers, anything that would be considered protected information for an individual. That's what I mean by redaction.
Seems okay.
But now,
No, go right ahead.
We have a hard copy of the entire thing, and then CDs are also of the entire thing.
Yes, sir.
They don't rip. Okay, so we could just not even bother ourselves with the CDs and just get copies of the hard copy.
You could.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, does council choose to take action? Or Sue, did you have another comment?
Well, why would you not hand the CDs out when obviously, unless you're a speed reader, you're going to have a heck of a long time reading all that?
Because you can't redact them.
You can't. But I'm saying, all right, you're talking about release to the public. I'm talking about the meeting of the council, Diffenbach, and PEDC.
I think it's going to be up to the preference of the board member or the council person on what method or what means they want to receive the information. Some enjoy it electronically, and others, like myself and Dr. Hashmi, we like to read it. So it's just your preference.
Right, well, I'm a speed reader. I can get through that pretty quickly, but not everybody is.
Mr.
Okay.
Frierson, can you explain to me what are we doing? Are we not wanting to see or seeing, or what? We are going to get a copy of the report today, right?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. And is the council wanting to proceed that before it's released to the public that we review it ourselves? I'm not getting a clear understanding of
my
what we're
thought
doing.
process of it, quite honestly, is if we receive the presentation, obviously, we're not in the position to sit right here and do Q&A, nor is Mr. Grubbs.
Okay.
That way, but if we had time to digest it, organize your thoughts and questions, and you write your questions down as you should, and then meet with the PEDC with Mr. Diffenbach present, and that way everybody gets their questions answered in the method that they see fit. That would seem to me what we need to do to move forward. Now, if the council chooses that or chooses otherwise, now is the time if they want to do that.
What are the other choices?
I don't know. You asked me for my suggestion. That's my
Yeah,
suggestion.
but I'm asking you, what do you think are the other choices?
I think that's really the only choice, to be quite honest. But there are 7 brains up here, so if you have another idea, I'm happy to listen.
I don't have any particular idea, but I think the whole community has been waiting for it over and over. You've been waiting. he's been asking, I've been asking, we've all been waiting. So I think whatever process can be done to speed it up and be done with it would be a better choice rather than call another meeting and another Deffenbach. I mean, if we want to discuss with Dr. Deffenbach, that's fine. I don't have any issues with that, but I think to delay it for the next council meeting and then the following council meeting, I just think that it's lingering agony. Other than that,
Oh, I don't think anybody wants to draw
yeah,
this out.
so
No.
I think if we are, my personal suggestion is if we are wanting to meet with Mr. Deffenbach or go through this and digest it and then talk to him before it's released, maybe a week, print it out today and wait a week, and even if we have to conduct a special meeting, but be done and over with so that this is passed rather than continued agony.
That certainly sounds reasonable
So-
to me. Mr. Grubbs, does that seem reasonable to you? I know you have to go back and everyone has to coordinate schedules, but I mean, that's,
You know,
I
it
think we
does.
should be
and-
given a copy today, and then after that, you know, take a week or whatever you decide is fine with me.
I think that's reasonable, and I would like the opportunity just to poll my board to find out who could be available. I know we have several on vacation even today, and I'm not sure when they return.
But do we need the
Shannon.
whole PEDC board for discussing it?
I'm sorry?
Do we need a whole PEDC board to discuss it, or can we discuss it with Mr. Deffenbach? I mean, do we need a whole PEDC board? to
I think that's the will of the council. I mean, I
Okay.
personally, Mr. Grubbs, I think so.
Well,
Don't you?
you know, since the PEDC ordered and to this point paid for it, I would like to have the opportunity to have as many board members present as possible.
I think that's completely reasonable.
I thought that
Just-
investigation was actually started by the council.
It was requested by the council.
Right.
But
That's
the
split
former
years.
chair of the board chose to change from audit to investigation. I think they've certainly got a lot of skin in the game at this point as well.
No, I don't disagree.
Hmm?
I don't disagree.
Okay. So is that consensus among the council that we'll coordinate a special meeting to get this ironed out? Is that reasonable?
Could we try to have it next week?
I would leave the scheduling to Janice and Shannon, but that works for me. Is that?
I just want it to be over, so I'll make time whenever.
Say within 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not a speed reader. I
Prior
can
to the-
digest it, but I
prior
don't
to
know
the-
what we're going to embark on. And
Prior to the 11th council meeting on August 11th, we'll do it prior to then.
We could do it before August 8th, during the August 8th, and then you could come and dance with us that afternoon.
No, sir, I'm taking vacation.
Okay, so the direction at this point is have Janice coordinate with Shannon on dates for scheduling a meeting.
And you'll have Mr. Deffenbach there? Is that the deal?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve.
Who should I give this to? How about the city attorney?
Yeah.
Thanks.
City
No,
attorney
he's out of
doesn't
that.
have much.
So
He's out of that one, okay.
City clerk, and then we'll.
City clerk,
we'll
okay.
deal with it from there.
Thank you.
And this will be copied when? Sir?
Steve, is it already in individual copies for the council?
No, there's only one copy.
Okay.
Yes.
It's all going to have to be copied.
Yes.
So when would that occur? Because obviously we couldn't leave tonight with it.
It does not appear that way. Janice, I know you've yet to even open that. Is it feasible to have that by today's Monday?
I could have somebody come, one person that I have in my office and just have her do nothing but that.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll
So
take
don't
my
call
CD
me.
tonight.
No one call me tomorrow and ask for it.
Janice, I'll take my CD tonight.
there may be only one CD. I don't know.
No,
So as
that's
quickly
what he
as
said, that
possible.
there's a CD for everyone.
Sue,
Oh, sorry.
Is by week.
There's
sent.
one
Is that
CD?
fair?
By weekend?
I mean, I literally
Well,
don't read
if
pages.
you have CDs, why can we not have that
There's just
now?
one CD.
There's one
only
CD,
one
Mr. Grubbs?
CD,
One copy.
one copy.
We'll start on it first thing.
Oh, there are 7, the report is on 7 CDs. I'll wait for the
Not
printout.
We'll
Okay.
make this a priority.
Thank you very much.
If you have
Okay.
slow copy machines, let me know.
I don't think so.
Okay, so we'll move on to item 16. Janice?
Presentation, discussion, and act on the proposed fiscal year 2014-2015 budget for the Paris Economic Development Corporation.
I'm sorry, I missed one. I apologize. It's item 15.
Okay, item 15,
I lost
presentation,
my check mark.
discussion and act on proposed amendments to fiscal year 2013-2014 budget for the Paris Economic Development Corporation.
Thank you. Council, I'm here to represent the Paris EDC, the new board that was appointed the end of June. I will say, to answer on the item previously, that the CDs are not in page-by-page order. They are an item and then another item, so someone has to go to that CD with the book to put it in a PDF order for you that is assembled as the book.
Mr. Frierson, with your permission, can I ask one more question since we have gone back on the previous item?
Sure.
Do you have a printed copy of it?
Did
I hear it right?
I have what it mirrors your book, your box. We have 16 hard copies and 8 or so discs.
Okay, so can we not make copies from the printed copy? I mean, that'll be faster.
Yes. I'm just saying those who want it electronically it will take some manpower to get it in the correct order.
But Janice, you were going to make them from the paper copy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to make it from the paper copy.
Okay.
Please.
All right. So you have before you in your packets the proposed amendments for the current fiscal year, which is fiscal year 2013-14, along with John Godwin's memo that prefaces why we're just now bringing it to you, and I do apologize, but there were extenuating circumstances. So with that in mind, I'm hoping that it won't take too much time for Gene to encompass this in your whole city budget as it should be. So with that in mind, I didn't know if you wanted me to go line item by line item on the spreadsheets, or just totals, or just answer questions that came up on the amendments.
I think maybe just questions of the council about the amendments. Anyone have any questions?
Actually, I have a bunch.
Okay.
Can I start?
You bet. Please go ahead.
Okay. I have some questions of Mr. Grubbs, and then with your permission, Mr. Frierson, I want to ask you one other question. Can, under this item, since it's PEDC budget and McClanahan and Holmes have done the previous audits, can I discuss one of the things from that or not?
From the audit itself?
Yeah.
Ken, is that?
It's not an audit itself, but it's part of the budget. But it's just a mention. If you don't want me, I'll put it as the next time. I'll put an agenda item.
If it's budget related, then
it is budget related.
Sure.
But I can
Sure.
discuss it. I have a couple of questions. Is this budget passed by the PEDC? The budget that you're presenting, it's passed by the PEDC.
Both budgets were, yes, sir.
Okay. I'll have a couple of questions of Mr. Grubbs if he doesn't mind answering. Mr. Grubbs, was this budget passed in the last meeting?
Yes, it was.
Okay. As the chairman of the board, I take it that you followed the bylaws of PEDC in passing the budget?
Dr. Hashmi, I sure hope so. I'm brand new in my role, and I think that we have, but if you have any information otherwise, let us know.
Yes, I have some concern. Do you know what section 4.10 of PEDC bylaws is?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. Have you read the PEDC bylaws?
I have reviewed them, yes. I have not memorized them.
PEDC bylaws, section 4.10 talks about conflict of interest. And I'm just a little concerned that when you were passing these things, did you realize that there is one person on your board who has some conflict of interest in some of the things that you did? And I just wanted to be sure, did that person, was he part of the discussion or not part of the discussion of the PEDC or not? Or did he inform you, did he have conflict of interest?
Yeah, no, there were no members that recused themselves from the conversations.
I would like you to please, next time when you conduct the meeting, to please remember 4.1. And I'm not going to name the member, but please ask if they have conflicts of interest before decisions of PEDC are taken in the PEDC board. And I'm going to just read one little paragraph out of it. And that is, it is not a question of being recused from the board for voting, but it even talks about you cannot participate in the discussion as well. So, and if you want, I'll discuss this again.
Hey, I would very much like to know what you're talking about.
Sure,
and
I will.
have that information.
I'll
It'd be
give
very
it to you.
helpful. Okay.
That's one of my questions, that really the only thing that I wanted to do.
Dr.
Point
Hashmi,
out.
is you, and forgive me, but is your question that we need to go back and reconsider our budget in light of that
Well,
information?
I don't like to unnecessarily delay things, because it was one member and four others passed for it, though there is a little problem with it, because when you have somebody with a conflict of interest who has discussed things, then there is an issue with it. But the thing is, I think in the best interest of saving time, I'm going to ignore it right now, but I think for future time, we should make sure that if somebody has conflict of interest, that they either recuse themselves and they do not participate in discussion.
Okay, I'll take that under advisement.
Thank you.
Dr. Hashmi, did you have anything else, or that was the only point?
No, that was the only point that I really wanted to make.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
I have a concern.
Yes, Sue.
The concern is that you are very, very close in your budget. I mean, you don't have much leeway. There's just not a lot of money to put into new promotion. I'm very concerned about the status of your financial.
You're talking about the proposed budget year?
The proposed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, and we had great conversation about that too as a budget, and proud of the new board. We really dug deep into some of these numbers and talked about projects and so forth. One thing you will notice on the 2013-14 amended budget and the 2014-15 proposed budget, there are a couple of projects that are listed in both years. So I think the financial picture might be a little better depending on where that cash flow falls. But still, we tried to build a balanced budget, and that was our goal, and that's what we're going to commit to for the coming year.
So it is a balanced budget?
Yes.
Well, you have some really nice things to do in here that don't really reflect bringing industry to town. And I'm really concerned about some statements that have been made that if any one of these who have obligations to you fail to perform, that will seriously adverse your financial situation.
Yeah, I've heard some of those references and comments and suggestions too, and I think we'll continue to be diligent in our process on the PEDC and keep you all apprised of any information or any problems that we would foresee on cash flowing. But I think that we've developed a good budget. I think it's something we all felt like that we can work with on the coming year and then continue to move the PEDC forward thereafter.
So you're saying that you'll probably need to make adjustments?
I think we made those adjustments in the current
Already?
budget, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Hashmi?
Yeah, I'm happy you reminded me. I had two other things actually which I'd forgotten. On the PEDC charter, section 4.13, item B, addresses the services of an attorney. The city attorney or his designee will provide assistance as requested by the board, and the city will be reimbursed for the cost providing the requested legal services. Have we ever been paid in the past by PEDC for providing legal services? Because it's part of that charter.
Gene.
We've never been paid for legal services by PEDC or any sort of accounting services or any of that. We've always done that.
I'm just curious why not, if it's part of the charter.
Can you speak up the microphone, please?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Let me repeat that because
Sure,
you said
please,
they didn't hear.
please go ahead.
The city's never been compensated for legal services or accounting services or anything. It's been discussed by previous councils, but they've never chosen to do that.
But isn't it part of the PEDC bylaws?
It's allowed, but it's not required.
Okay. So this B can be ignored.
Yes.
Are there other things in this that can be ignored as well?
Well, if you've got one specific, I'll try to address it, but I know that the councils in the past have discussed whether or not to charge, the city to charge for its services, and have chosen not to do that.
The PEDC is going to bring some amendments to the bylaws when?
Gentlemen, I don't want to repeat
Well,
this
no,
too
no.
much, but I know, but this
I
is
know.
about the budget, so let's
But
make
this-
sure we're,
In August.
I understand.
I'm not sure if it's this first or second meeting in August.
And that is one of the items they're going to bring back.
Okay. And then one last thing, since I got Mr. Frierson's permission to speak on this, and that was with reference to the accounting firm that we use for our audit. I don't know if everybody has read the last year's audit. In that, there is a section that pertains, and I want for future references when you're doing the budget, if this can be done. And what it reads is, the management, which is PEDC, has not presented management's discussion and analysis that governmental accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America require to be presented to supplement the basic financial information. Such missing information, although not part of basic financial statements, is required by the Governmental Accounting Standard Board. If we can make sure that we conform to those when we do our budget and accounting.
I will make a vested effort.
Thank you very much.
okay. We're on item 15. How does the council choose to act on this?
I'll make a motion to pass it.
Okay, we have a motion from Dr. Hashmi. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Pickle. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, item 16.
Okay, presentation, discussion, and act on the proposed fiscal year 2014-2015 budget for the Paris Economic Development Corporation.
Hi there.
I thought we addressed
So
that with
that's
Sue's.
That's
but-
for the amendments themselves. So now this is the budget.
Right.
Any additional questions from previous? If not, we'll take a motion.
Actually, Mr. Frierson, I have one other question. Can you just explain to me this, again, going back to the bylaws on this, where it says authorizations and investments of the corporation. If we can maybe get a little summary from you at some point of, because some of them are required to be guaranteed by FDIC, and apparently some of the investments where the money is are not guaranteed. So I want to get a little feedback of why they are in accounts which are not guaranteed. Oh, Gene is going to answer that right now.
Yeah, the investments as they've been historically have either been CDs at banks that were insured through the FDIC through that, and otherwise they're insured. They're in an investment pool, which are insured by other securities, dollar for dollar. So I know in the past, money would accumulate sometimes at Liberty Bank because sales tax would come in, and that in itself, in a single month, would put us over that insurance limit. And so Liberty was requested to pledge securities to cover that when that money came in. So that problem has been addressed and taken care of. So it is all covered at this point.
Thank you.
Any other questions on the budget?
Gene, in their bids, they're required to collateralize, securitize those also, aren't they? In their bids, like the one that Liberty did for the public funds.
I didn't work with the bids on their depository. I didn't have any direct input, so I don't know how those were worded. I know the cities are under state statute are required to be pledged securities, and I think ours were covered at 105%, but I'm not sure that PEDC has a similar requirement. But they are all covered. I know that for sure.
Okay. No other questions. I'll take a motion on this item.
Also moved.
Have a motion from Mr. Pickle. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Dr. Hashmi. All those in favor say aye. 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 Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys.
17.
Item number 17, Janice.
Discuss and take action on awarding a contract to the lowest responsible bidder for construction of water and sewer lines under Contract B of the 2013 Capital Improvement Program.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you we opened bids for Contract B of our 2013 CIP program on July 1st. We are hoping not to rush it since we only received one bid, and to do a little more due diligence and checking into the single contractor that we received. And in doing so tonight, Mr. Don D. Adams and Mr. Nick Backer with AECom are here tonight to explain to you what they found and give you their recommendation on action on the single bid that we received. So I'll introduce Mr. Don D. Adams.
Good evening, everyone. Per the packet and information provided to you, we provided a fairly simple letter to you. Our role as the engineer is to go through in a very black and white fashion the criteria for selecting and/or recommending bidders to the city. Based upon that letter, as you can see in that packet, and with Sean's added memorandum there was 2 key criteria that had to do with the contractor's experience. We did not, in a very black and white fashion, feel that they addressed those concerns and therefore recommended rejecting the bid. So purely based upon that, the issue also is highlighted in Sean's memo as well, that there was just one bidder.
Is there anyone on the council have questions at this point? I guess my main question would be, can you attribute it to any one particular item, that there was only one?
Great. Thank you for bringing that up. Some of the time after bid we've spent pulsing the market. If we had to address some of the factors in no particular order, it is market. It is saturating some of the contractor base out there right now. That's different than we saw the market maybe 6-9 months ago when we started in on the project. So that's some of the feedback we were getting from the marketplace. We spent a lot of time with suppliers and other contractors there. Timing a little bit. Some of them had competing bids, and size of the package. So those would be the 3 main factors in no particular order.
So what's to be different if we choose to deny this? What's to be different next time? Timing. We'll make sure we time it, but we can only crystal ball so much there. Market, understand whether we're competing with anything, which we did before, but most importantly, size. At this point, Sean and ourselves are in unison that smaller, which is what the market is saying back to us, appears to make the most sense. We'd split this package into a smaller package and assess from there. Okay. And so how long does if this goes back out to bid, how long does the process take from there?
That's really more on the city side. We can break it up fairly quickly. I don't know if we discussed the specific rebidding date there.
We did discuss this in length. We had a 2.5-3 hour meeting last Wednesday to discuss this in detail and bring out all the aspects, and kind of the conclusion we came to, like Don was saying, was to break this up into $4.5 million projects. We saw that kind of as the sweet spot among contractors to get the most contractors, so you get competition, and to break these up. It seemed to be from everybody we were polling that the higher the amount of the contract, the fewer bidders you got, and there was a lot more admin and overhead you had to pay for that. So that kind of addresses that. But I guess back to your point, Matt, was timing wise, that was another thing we kind of got, is look out there on all the bidding websites, see if we're competing. We don't want to compete, our project to compete against other projects. Especially another thing we're seeing is if a contractor is in the Metroplex, they're going to bid on a Metroplex project rather than our project and spend more time, energy, and effort on that than ours. So that's one of the things that we're going to have to go back and look at, is make sure our project does not compete with one of the other local projects comparable size. So that's one of the things we're going to look at. So given that, based on what happens tonight, that's how we plan on moving forward with that, is going back and looking at what it, take all the data we can collect and choose the best option among that data, with obviously competing against other projects, and giving contractors enough time to get with suppliers, which, as Don mentioned too, the supply companies, one we're seeing is kind of the big company now. We used to see a lot of 5 or 6, 7, 8 bids. You would see 2 or 3 very competitive, 1 or 2 in the middle, and you would see some people just doing I hope I get it, throwing extra million or whatever in there just to say they hope. You don't see those I hope I get it anymore, because people don't have the time or staff to put the time into those bids anymore. That's kind of what we were seeing in doing this. So all that to be said, we'll come back, and I know John gives you guys monthly updates or weekly updates or whatever, but I'm assuming John, we will continue that process through our meetings and updating you on when we try to fit the best time for the schedule to put this back out to bid.
I know a concern I had was, was there any indication of what this might do to the price point? I mean, if there was only one bid at this point, I mean, total project scope, are we going to see a net increase?
I think if we left it out there as is, I think we probably would see a net increase. But breaking it up, it's almost kind of a new project, so to speak, and that's another thing we looked at is that exact question.
Okay.
And the kind of the overall goal we got is do not put it out exactly like it was before.
Okay. Any other
Yeah, I have a
council?
question.
Yes, Dr. Ross.
Why don't we not combine it with the next bigger contract? And you will attract much bigger companies.
Well, one of the things we're looking at is those bigger companies are going after much bigger projects like S.J. Lewis, who we had here before. Yeah. They just were awarded a $120 million project in Fort Worth.
But so that's coming what my question is. Maybe they're not interested in $8 million, but maybe they'll be interested if we combine B and C together.
And we've kind of forecasted that as well. And one thing we're looking at is when you start combining and going much larger, you narrow your group of overall contractors. So you're narrowing your field of contractors that can come in and bid, and at the same time, what we're looking at is when you when you put those together, you're going to pay a higher price because of bigger companies, bigger overheads, you know.
But when you had it smaller, you didn't attract anybody anyway. So what the heck?
Well, that's true too. But this is after doing all our investigation, this is the best route we've seen from the current market.
So if like you split this package in two. Say you make it two packages, isn't it going to make it longer to get through? Are we looking for is that right?
Well, what we've actually looked at is possibility of breaking a lot of our next projects up into two different projects, but run them on parallel tracks and offset them. That way the local contractors or whoever's here, you know, they may not be able to bid on the very next one, but the next one comes up. In other words, we're going to try to offset these to where they're not end to end, but half to half, so to speak, where you've got bidding, you know, half months in. So we're estimating probably 9-month project. So 4.5 months into your first project, you put the next one out to bid where you can award it 4.5 months in and keep them staggered as such. And that was another thing to kind of keep our timeline. We're not 6 years out in doing all this construction. We're still trying to keep our original schedule of 3 to 4 years.
What's the contingency here if that doesn't work? Do you have another plan? Or have you talked about it?
We've talked about a lot of different avenues, and really that was the main thing we looked at, is trying to narrow it down. Now still at that, even at putting it $3.5 to $4.5 million projects, from what we've been told in the economy, even in the Metroplex, they're only seeing 5 to 6 bidders at that price. But that's the largest number of bids they're seeing is in that price range. So that's, you know, I guess that is the current plan, is to look at that avenue to bid one of these phases out, see where that gets us. So really, I mean, I can't answer that question.
Well, if that doesn't work, I mean, what's wrong with doing what Dr. Hawkins said, put it together,
Man, we could, yeah.
Big package.
We could try that.
And besides, Mr. Plata, I would think that it's a council decision whether to combine or not to combine. I don't think it's the engineering department. We can take input from them. But I think eventually it rests on the 7 of us to decide whether you want to combine or whether you want to split. I personally would favor to combine so that you might have a little higher price, but at some point we need to do this and be done with it. But again, which way the council wishes to proceed. I think splitting it again is going to take some time, rebidding again, and then, as Mr. Plata says, if the same thing happens again, don't have it.
So what I'm hearing, and to go back, on awarding this contract, the staff recommendation is to deny awarding this contract. So is that what the council is prepared to do? And if so, I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Make a motion to deny the contract.
I'll say.
Second by Mr. Plata. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Frierson,
yes, sir.
Can we put this back on the agenda to discuss on how we want to do this?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For the next meeting, so that we are clear in our mind of what we should.
Absolutely. Thank you. Janice, if you don't mind making
Yes,
that
sir.
note. Okay. Item 18.
discuss and provide direction to staff on Valley of the Caddo Museum building request.
All right, this is
This is John's item.
Yes.
Do we need to move it to the next meeting?
John has been working with Valley of the Caddo, some of whom I know are here tonight, with regards to adjustments down at the depot. With John being the contact on this, how does the council want to proceed? Do you want to table it until he returns at the next meeting? I think that's really the only thing to do, quite honestly.
I would think at least hear from the people who are here.
Sure.
Right.
Dr.
So that
Van
they
Dale,
don't
Ms.
have to
Stallings,
come
if you'd
back
like
again.
to fill us in, that'd be great.
Hello, Phil Bandel. I'm president of the Valley of the Caddo Museum. We want to thank the council for allowing us to use the facility, the railroad station museum, for the Valley of the Caddo. And as a result of your approving that, we've been moving forward here. Let me ask members of the board and committee to stand, please. Jeanette Bender has been foreseen what we need to do to make the museum suitable for display of objects. On that team, Ann Gilliland, Don McCaskill, Ruth Ann Stallings, Julia Crawford, and others. And then present also is Jimmy Don Nicholson, who is our chief of the board. We've spent some monies already on display cabinets. Where to get displays present, we need to protect the windows with ultraviolet protection, and we're in the process of doing that. We need a security system to protect the items that are displayed. We'll have both cameras and motion detectors with the alarm system. We're looking to revise a restroom, which will allow a multi-purpose room. A multi-purpose room will be used for trainings and children's workshops in particular. We already have a children's workshop scheduled for our opening day on October 3rd. We have had requests for the use of the museum facility for meetings from Lamar County Historical Commission, the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Mothers Homeschool Association, and the Valley of the Caddo Archaeological Society. So we're looking forward to that, and we're very pleased that we have great interest in other organizations wanting to use the facility for their purposes and enjoy the ambience of the museum. We are planning our opening on October 3rd and 4th, Friday, Saturday, and the Museum of the Red River up in Idabel has graciously going to be lending us a pottery exhibit from 4 regions of the world. It's a $50,000 value project that they'll be lending us. We'll also have M.D. Davis, who is a Texas artist with a display on paint on stone present, and that'll be a $10,000 exhibit. We're planning a reception for our grand opening on the evening of Friday, October 3rd, probably from about 6 to 8. And each of you members will be receiving an invitation to participate in that grand opening event.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mandel.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions?
Before you table it, can I?
Yeah, no, that's great.
Dr. Bindel, your last request, one significant request involves need for storage and for workspace. Personally, I've received a bunch of emails. I don't know whether other council members have received them or not. There's a fairly major opposition in the community to make changes to the bathroom or make physical changes to the building itself. And I would like to just ask you, is there a possibility that you could move maybe not make too many changes in the bathroom or the physical areas and maybe use storage space somewhere else? Is that a possibility? Because one of the complaints about, I mean, I don't know how many emails you've received, but I've received a bunch of emails that it's good to have the museum, we'd love to have the museum, and we appreciate what you're doing, but people are a little opposed to making changes in the building.
And to
One
that,
of-
I'm sorry, go ahead, Dr. Mandel.
One of the things that we're looking into is moving the men's bathroom so that we can have this meeting room facility. And as I say, we've already had, we have it's a multi-purpose room. So as I said, there are other organizations that would like to use it, as well as the opportunity to have workshops and special meetings within that area. So the Chamber of Commerce had a lot of storage stuff in the back room, and they've agreed to move that. And there were other things that were stored that some of them have been there for a number of years.
And I
So-
understand that, but my question to you was, is there a possibility that you could do without making major changes to the building? Yes or no?
Well, I think, as I understand, these will be, even though we're moving a bathroom, we're looking to move a bathroom, that this will enhance the overall facility itself and minimize, the bathrooms that are there are fairly large, and so it's a matter of utilizing space to an advantage. And so incorporating what has been a storage area that, as I say, a lot of things have been stored there for a number of years. And the chamber has graciously agreed to move their items from the storage area. And we're looking at a design in using what is now a storage area for a men's bathroom, and therefore creating a larger meeting room facility.
Dr. Mandel, I'm sure some of you saw this, but in John's biweekly report, this came out that, is there a new plan that does not involve to relocate without moving any walls of the men's restroom? Is that accurate?
I don't think there, other than just some minor shifting for privacy facilities, I don't think there are any structural changes other than what you need to do for putting in toilets and urinals.
Okay.
Dr. Bandel, will that change that significantly from the historical design?
Well, as I understand, the historical design is mainly for the exterior of the building. Is that correct?
Well, no, the interior was considered at the time that all of that was renovated.
Well, as I understand, the restrooms have been changed already. Since integration took place, we had colored restrooms, we had white restrooms, and those facilities have been changed already. So I don't see that a further minor change would make a difference.
Well, it's pretty major when you start moving plumbing around. Also, neither of those storerooms have any climate control at the present. So you'd have to take that in consideration too.
Yes. We're at the present stage looking at blueprints, and as I say, Mr. Godwin has been present on site on at least 2 different occasions and met with members of the committee, and so he's been apprised of the situation. Right. And we do not have final blueprints available yet for consideration.
Of course, Mr. Godwin was not here when we renovated and salvaged that building, and a great deal of effort was put into it. So I just want to make sure that the historical significance is not drastically changed, or anything that would really affect the building. And it seems like air conditioning and moving all that plumbing is pretty significant.
Was it air conditioned when it was built?
No, I'm just saying
Okay.
it's going to change the building. I don't have anything wrong with air conditioning. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Okay.
So this item is listed as to provide direction to staff. Is it acceptable of the council to ask Mr. Godwin to continue to work on this, but before any major changes are made, to bring it back to the
I
council?
favor that.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make that motion. Whatever you said is my motion.
Second. Yeah, whatever that was.
I'll take that. Okay.
Who seconded?
Sue did. So all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming by today.
19, receive, presentation, discuss, and provide direction to staff on fiscal year 2014-15 budget for the City of Paris.
Okay, well,
Do we need to table this,
yeah,
sir?
without Mr. Godwin, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to
Those we can do.
move that we table this until the appropriate time. Who knows when that will be?
Okay. Had a motion by Mr. Pickle. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Lancaster. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay.
Could I ask a question on that budget? One thing. When does it when is the deadline to be approved?
I believe it's September the 27th.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings us to item number 20.
Mrs. Lancaster is requesting copies of preliminary reports from Defabon Associates. Discussion and action.
I have not changed my mind. I still want preliminary copies, and I still insist that it is my right to request those.
Well, and that's open for council discussion. I mean, I think that's one of those things that I respect your right to have it based on the fact that there's now a final, well, not final, I don't know if there's at least a report now
Right.
that's not
But I haven't
mixed and
changed,
matched.
I have not changed my request. I want
Okay.
both.
Is this item for discussion?
Yeah.
Can I
Yes,
ask a
discuss-
question?
yes.
I'd like to ask the city attorney that when you refused to give copies, did you refuse to give the copies?
Yes.
Okay. Did you consult anyone in your department, or did you consult TML? On what basis did you say no?
On the basis that this is not a city record. The preliminary draft report from an outside private investigator working for the PEDC is not a city record. And I've mentioned that to the council before. In fact, on the June 23rd meeting, you all announced in public session that you wanted Mr. Deffenbaugh to issue his report on the investigation both to the city council and to the EDC board on or before July 28th.
But Mr. McElliott, it may not be a city document, but the thing is you were in possession of the documents, right?
You know I was.
Okay, you told us, and so
Yes,
that's
I
why
told
I'm
you
just
that in
curious
executive
that
session.
why would you want to prevent a city council person from reading it? I mean, you were not planning to give it out, were you?
Oh, absolutely not.
So why would you not?
Was there an issue with the way it was requested, or?
Well, there's also that aspect. Ms. Lancaster filed a public information request in her own name as a citizen.
No.
With the city clerk,
I've
and
never-
that triggers all
No.
the state laws and processes for handling a Public Information Act request. So that is also a problem with the
Basis of
matter.
denial, it states right here, the requester is a city council person requesting documents under the Public Information Act. This was issued by your own office. You recognized me.
You were addressed
Did
as a
I
city
sign
coun-
that? Is that letter issued, signed by me?
It was signed by Stephanie Harris at your direction.
Stephanie Harris wrote that letter independently.
Oh, I
So
couldn't
she
tell you.
handles all the
It was-
public information
It was
requests.
entirely at your direction.
What is your point, though?
My point
I
is
don't
I
understand
still
your
want
point.
those reports, that's all.
All right,
it is.
and it's on
And
the.
that I think I was illegally denied. That's
I understand
my
that's your
stand.
opinion. But you've posted the item for council action to decide
No.
whether or not you have, whether or not
All
the
right,
council wants me to give the city council the middle of June preliminary draft reports from Deffenbaugh and Associates. I also think the council needs to direct me to ask Mr. Deffenbaugh and the PEDC board as the contracting parties to give us written authorization to disclose something that's not a final report.
Okay, when you directed me that on the 25th, I changed that immediately and said, that is a misconception you had, but I'm changing that, and I have this in writing, and you still denied me.
I'm going to have to ask another question. Since I got another letter too, and which is signed by Ms. Stephanie Harris, do you want to say that people in your department who work under you work independent of you and you're not responsible for their acts? I thought anyone in my office, whether it's a nurse or somebody else, if they prescribe a wrong medication, they'll come after me, they'll not go after the nurse. Who do we go after? Your secretary? She made a mistake?
Dr. Hashmi, she's an attorney with just as much
So
experience
you have no
working with
control
the
over
Public
the people?
Information Act
Do you
as I
want to
have,
tell me
if
that
not
you have
more.
no control over the
No,
people who work in your department?
She's in my department, I acknowledge that.
Okay, who's the chief of the department?
I am.
Okay, whose responsibility is that she doesn't write wrong letters?
What is your, I don't
My-
believe she issued
Okay,
a wrong
we
letter,
need-
Dr.
we need to
Coxby.
refer back to the agenda,
I'm still
gentlemen.
trying to figure out,
I'll-
I'm still trying to say that the city council right here can direct me to contact Deffenbaugh Associates and the PEDC board and get written authorization to release their preliminary reports to the city council. That is the proper way to handle that matter.
How does the council wish to proceed on this? I mean, I understand Sue's point completely that if she requests the documents, then, certainly she's entitled to have that. And so, I mean, if that's, I guess my question at this point is, does the council just want to unanimously just open it to any city council person that wants that? Or do they request that there be written authorization from Mr. Deffenbaugh?
I don't understand. Aren't we going to get it?
Yes.
Aren't we going to get the report?
Yes.
There's the final
There's
report
a
right there.
difference. There's a final report. I'm still requesting the preliminary report
Why didn't you just request that from Deffenbaugh?
because I requested as a city council person material that I was due.
I don't understand.
I see no point in
understand.
denying me something that I've requested legally as a council
I
person.
can see his point, really. I can see his point
I'm
myself.
sorry, I don't see it.
If I can address?
Sure.
There is a law that says that if the attorney provides something to the council member, which is not to be disclosed, and if you want, I'll pull out the number, that it becomes a violation of the law if she distributes it.
That's incorrect, sir. I cannot control the city council. Once information is given to a city council member, I cannot control that city council member from dispersing that information
You're
to
right,
anybody
you
the city
cannot, but
council
it-
member wants to.
You
The
cannot.
city council can waive attorney-client privilege. They can do anything they want once that information is given to the city council.
You're right, you cannot, but there is a law that says she cannot publicly distribute anything that is given to her while she is in office as a city councillor.
That's right.
Well, I don't know what
And
law
if you
that is.
and if you want, I'll be glad to pull out the exact. I have it somewhere over here, or I can give it to you later. But I have it. I think it's there is a penalty to it, and there is a punishment to it, and there is a fine to it. But if you want, I'll get you the exact law. It's part of Texas law that you cannot. So I see no reason not to give it. I mean, there's plenty of other information that is confidential that we get. We don't give it out.
But that's not third-party investigator
Okay, I will not
information.
discuss it any further.
Anything that's
Whatever.
city documents, I'm happy to share with the city council. I just don't feel comfortable releasing third-party confidential information that's between two other parties, not the city council.
Is the information different in the preliminary report than the final report?
I have no idea, ma'am. I've never seen the final report.
I differ.
Wait, do you think it is different, Sue?
No, I don't think it should be, but it's a point now of the fact that I've requested something I should have gotten, and I want to see it through. There may not be one word different, but I don't think that's the point.
No, I was just asking.
No, I'm just trying to tell you.
Does council choose to take any action on this?
Why don't we, can we have, I don't know what you want, I don't know what you're after, but could we have, could we have Deffenbaugh bring down the preliminary report when he comes down and hand it to her?
I don't know that we can direct him to do that, can we? But the point is, if you have a right to do something as a city council person, I certainly wouldn't deny you.
I understand that.
If we want to shorten it, can we make a request that in future, when the city council person requests it, it be given, so that we cut this discussion off at some point? I mean.
Well, I agree that you can reach sort of a stalemate on things, but I mean, what is the consensus of the council? I'm waiting to hear.
If you're asking for votes, then I'll say that whatever a city council person needs, they should be given, as long as they are not dissipating the information all over.
Mr. McCollar, do you have Do you have the preliminary report?
I've had it since Steffenbaugh sent it to me in middle of June.
Okay.
But I have not shared it with anyone outside my staff in the city attorney's office.
Have you seen it? Have you read it?
I've seen the preliminary report.
So we can, so what you're saying, you're asking that if we can instruct you to do it, that's what you're waiting on, right?
Correct. Right. It's the council's pleasure. If you want me to burn it, I'll burn it tonight. I don't care. I'm just saying I've got to take direction from the city council, not from an individual council member when it impacts an outside entity and it's third-party confidential material.
I think
Because I don't.
I think you're creating a dangerous precedent in allowing council people to request information under your care or anybody else in the city. Either the legal association in Austin is totally off base, or they're right, and I'm entitled.
Well, one point is that it came into Mr. McKillier's possession due to an open records release made by a local attorney who later rescinded that request. So perhaps that makes it somewhat different. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to, I don't care whether you see it, Sue. I mean,
Well, it's now a point of issue because it may come back to bite us later.
I don't know what's in it.
I mean, if you were to make a request of Mr. McKillier of certain materials, I would support you in receiving what you need.
Mr. McKillier, in your opinion, would you think there's anything there that would, anything harmful that would come out of that preliminary report?
I can't say, sir, because everybody's going to view that report differently. So I can't say what's harmful and what's not harmful.
I mean, is there any
know.
social security numbers, credit card numbers, anything in that
Okay,
report?
if that's your question, he did not send the thousands of pages of attachments. So no, I don't believe there's a lot of credit card receipts. Oh, wait a minute, there is. I'm sorry. In one of his reports, in one of his sub-reports, there are credit card receipts. I take that back. I haven't looked at it in over a month. But we have had to package that report up at least on 2 different occasions and send it to the Texas Attorney General's office for their legal decision on whether that document can be released.
And
we have not gotten a response. They typically take 45 days to 60 days. So that's late August probably.
It would have solved the whole problem had we gotten a written report from Deffenbaugh and Associates per the contract at the end of
each month.
April, at the end of May, the end of June.
But be that as it may, the item at hand is to, does anyone have any heartburn or opposition to releasing this to the council members that so choose to do that? And if so, or are there any qualifiers as far as asking Mr. Deffenbaugh if he would sign a statement saying it's okay? I mean, we need to move forward. I mean, I respect Sue's request very much, but
I have one qualifier that anything can be given, but that should not be given out unless,
right.
If it's given in confidence to a council member, then it should stay in confidence with a council member.
And it will.
Other than that, I would have no objections.
And it will.
okay.
But I strongly recommend that you put the qualifier on, that you get written authorization from Mr. Deffenbaugh's company and from the PEDC board, because they have confidentiality clauses in their contract, and I don't want to violate those clauses by releasing preliminary draft reports that are 7 weeks old. I don't want to get anybody sued over that.
Well, so now we're adding the
Wait,
PEDC board to this.
Well, we had to ask them to get the final copy.
No, he has the copy.
No,
PEDC doesn't have it.
No, we had to ask them for permission to receive the final report, the one that we got tonight.
I wasn't asking for the final report.
No, I'm not.
But it's the
I'm
same
asking
process.
for
I'm saying that
I'm
process.
asking for a preliminary report that was,
Okay.
that came because of an action by an individual through an attorney and came to Mr. McKillier's possession, putting it under city umbrella.
Would you be happy if we got the PEDC to sign off on it, Mr. Deffenbaugh to sign off on it, and it was delivered to you within the week?
Well, what assurance I have that they're going to do any better for me than what's been done by my own attorney?
I'm just asking you a question. Would you be happy with that?
Well, you got a guarantee that that'll happen? I don't.
Well,
The question was, would you be happy with it?
Yeah, if you give me a guarantee, I will.
I can't guarantee you that we'll be here tomorrow.
That's my point. That's my point. You have no guarantee what
Well,
the
then let's
EDC
move
board
on.
will do.
Let's move on, because I can't guarantee that we're going to see the final report, because all hell may break loose before the end of the evening, and we don't see anything.
I thought I'd be walking home with a copy of that report tonight. So I was kind of surprised that, you know, I can understand it. It's a lot of paper and a lot of copying expense being, you know, passed along from one entity to the other. So as soon as you can get that final report, I mean, I personally would rather look at that, and then if I didn't
like to
believe
look-
or had questions about it,
It's
I'd
my
go back
position
to
that
earlier
I'm
reports.
entitled to both, and I want both.
So is there, what is the will of the council? Do we want to request the signatures of PEDC? They're not that hard to find, and I would assume Mr. Deffenbaugh, if he...
Well, sometimes they are.
I would make the move to allow the preliminary report to be handed over to Sue with the PEDC, but with the PEDC signing off on it and Deffenbaugh signing off.
Okay, that's a motion. Mr. Plata, is there a second? Okay. Motion dies for lack of a second. Or what, is there an action to be taken?
Ms. Lancaster,
I will second
would you like
that.
to make a motion so that we go
I
past?
make a motion that that be provided to me, and if you need to have the PEDC board to okay it, okay. But it needs
I
to be
just
within a
asked
week.
that.
I understand you did, and
Is that your
I have-
motion?
You know, I'm a woman, I can change my mind. I'll try to work with you.
Is that your motion, Ms. Lancaster?
Yes.
Wait, no, that
That was
was
Benny's
Benny's
motion.
motion.
No, no.
And she agreed that she would, she just
Benny's
said.
motion failed.
No, she said, oh, I'll second it.
But it failed.
It
So
failed.
we're just restating it.
So what are we?
Repeat your motion, please.
Yeah. Is that I be provided with those preliminary reports within the week, that you'll run it by the PEDC board, but I don't understand that they're going to meet in a week. No. So, I mean, how does that happen?
Ms.
Okay, so
Lancaster,
what
can
is
I
the,
make
what
one
is there, is
suggestion?
there
You
Go
will
ahead.
a motion?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Dr. Hoshman.
You'll get your final report. If you don't get the preliminary report, is it okay if you get it a little later?
I don't mind if I get it a little later.
So if it's
I don't
not
mind.
1 week, if it's 2 weeks, it doesn't matter, does it?
That's okay.
So you
I
want
can
to
do that.
qualify your motion a little
I'll
bit?
qualify that.
Okay.
Okay, so
She-
the motion
She
is
left out
to,
Deffenbaugh.
She left out Deffenbach, that's right, but it's
Well,
her,
that- we'll
her
include
motion,
him.
so.
I'm
you
making
can-
that motion that both of those
for
be
both of them.
included.
Okay.
At some
so
point in the
there's-
future.
All right, some point in
2
the future. We
weeks.
have a motion
Okay.
on the floor. Is there a
I'll
second?
second
Wait,
it.
I'm asking for the clarification of the motion. Is it, at what point? How long are we, is this, it's not a week? Is it 2 weeks? Is it eternity?
She said 2 weeks.
I said 2 weeks.
Okay. Just
I'll
wanna be
second the
clarification.
motion.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We
Mr.
appreciate
Plata,
your
I thought you were
input.
going to
Thank you
oppose.
for bearing with us.
He doesn't know yet. He don't know yet.
I said aye.
No, I
They will
understand.
whenever-
Same thing you said.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that going to be within 2 weeks? Okay.
Okay. Item-
But I would like to say one thing. You know, in the future, let's have this a little clarified. Are we going to agree with what is coming out of Austin on the Texas Municipal League? Or are we just going to create something for ourselves? And if so, I want to know what it is.
Okay, with that, we move to item 21, convene into.
Could I make a quick aside that is pertinent to this? I just wonder if Mr. Deffenbaugh is going to come, and because I believe he's pretty well stated that he's already used the $50,000, and so if he's not paid, is he going to come?
Only thing to that is I believe strongly in the leadership of PEDC that they'll make every effort to make that happen.
Okay.
That's, I think, about all we can do on that. Item 21.
Convene into executive session.
Mr. Bryson?
Yes, sir.
Since it was my item, which is 21 was my item, I'd like to say a couple of words before we go into the session. I'll discuss the items inside, but I do want to mention something.
Well, We have that listed as item 22. But
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm talking about executive session. Since I'm the one who placed the item, I would like to say something about it.
Well,
about the item itself.
Is that there's not room for a statement or discussion on this?
There's no discussion. I'm just stating the facts that I'm the one who placed the item, so I'd like to discuss this.
It's your call.
Sure.
This item was placed by me in the open session. Instead, I think Mr. Frierson ordered the item to be placed in the executive session. I have a little concern on his part, and that is I see that there is a persistent pattern. Ms. Lancaster's item was changed last time to something else. I don't know the details of that. But it is a pattern of changing agenda items. To move an item into the executive session against the desire of the council members who submits it should be really a decision of the whole council, not an individual. When Mr. Frierson was elected the mayor, he pointed out under our charter, the mayor has no more power than any other council member other than to preside over the meetings. Also, one of his first comments after becoming the mayor, Mr. Frierson, also mentioned the importance of transparency. But what I see demonstrated in the first 2 months is kind of contrary to that. I'm sorry to say that I feel that it has become a broken council, and instead of accomplishing things, we keep arguing on issues. Hopefully at some point we get over this and we quit arguing and move forward. I'm expressing my personal feelings, and I hope Mr. Frierson's feelings are not hurt. Mr. Frierson, I just feel that you're running it like a dictatorship, not democracy. And that's all I want to say, and I'll go in the executive session.
Okay, with that, we move to executive session.
Matt, will you take it now?
I'm sorry. It is now 7:13 and we go to executive session. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the time is 7:47 and we are back in open session. With that, we move to item 22, which is, you got it?
Reconvene into open session, possibly take action on those matters discussed in executive session.
Okay. At this point, the discussion revolved around the performance evaluation of the city attorney as stated in the agenda. We have not done a performance evaluation since June of last year as an official council. So with that, I don't know that there's much to say. There was no.
I have things to say.
Go right ahead, Dr. Koshman.
I'm not very happy with the performance of the city attorney during the last few months. I've had multiple concerns, which included not representing the council as a whole, to not providing records to council members. There are other things that I've addressed in the past, and at this point, I'd like to make a motion that the services of the city attorney be terminated.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second from Ms. Lancaster. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion fails.
By what margin? 3-4?
I believe that's correct, Aaron. 3-4.
Mayor, may I add one thing to this item?
Sure.
That the city, I have received no performance evaluation for the last year, so I think that's a highly unusual motion to make to terminate the services of the city attorney when I haven't been evaluated for the last year by the city council. Thank you.
We'll move on to item number 23.
Consider and approve future events for city council and our city staff pursuant to resolution number 2004-01.
And anyone have any other items? If not, we'll move on to item 24.
We don't have dance practice.
Item 24. Can I get a motion? Motion by Mr. Jenkins. Second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lancaster. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.